I know that that's really rude, and I'm just very, very sorry about that. I'm very sorry for all that have been harmed by that message. Do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to be nice? Good morning. So I missed the vlog last week because I was at a wedding. I was about to leave for a wedding, and I just took the week off. And this week, I brought one of my friends home from the wedding, and she's visiting from England, so she's staying with us. So, between the wedding and hanging out with my friend, I'm not getting as much reading done, so it is the perfect week to miss a week for the vlogs. Anyway, so, what have I already read? Last week I read The Drowning Wood. Oh, we'll put it right there. The Drowning Woods. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember anything about it. I was so bored reading it the entire time. It didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing that I can cite about this book that I can say, this is why this book is not good enough. Like, it was fine. It was a perfectly fine book. It just was also so, it just didn't do anything memorable for me. And so, even though I read it, I immediately, my brain dumped it all. The second I finished, I was like, that's not worth holding in my mind. Oh no. I know that that's really rude, and I'm just very, very sorry about that. Then I read Brisinger, which is the third Aragon book. I've been not really talking about these as much. I've been reading through these very quickly. Well, I do one a month, but when I read them, I read through them very quickly because they are rereads. When I was a teenager, this was my favorite series, and I read, or middle school, maybe, this was my favorite series, and I read through, it was teenager, whatever. I would read through these over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I know these stories so well. Even the elements that I've forgotten when they're revealed, it's like, ah! I remember reacting to this before. It's just very familiar territory for me. However, I never actually finished the series. I never actually read book 4. So when I do read book 4, probably next month, it will, it'll be a new experience. But anyway, I read Brisinger, and you know, I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the reread. I'm chatting with my friend about it. We're both rereading it together. I definitely, in this reread, I'm finding that my tastes have definitely changed. I still enjoy it. I still think that it's a solid series. There are times where it's like pages and pages and pages to describe an exchange or the making of something, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm glad you researched this, but holy cow, do I need it? Do I need to research it? Do I need to read your research papers? I feel like no, but that's not something entirely unique to this series. So whatever. I'm enjoying myself for the most part. I enjoy Aragon's perspectives. I still think Roran's perspectives are boring, just like I did as a teen. I actually used to skip his perspectives, and I never found out what direction his plotline went in because he wasn't a part of the book for me. I'm actually reading them this time, and you know what? I didn't miss anything. Maybe I'll change my mind after I read book 4, and it'll all be worth it. But I mean, it's just like, I slew 1,000 men with my warhammer. I go back to Katrina, who I love. I slew 1,000 men with my warhammer. Did we do anything new this time in this perspective? No. Anyway, I am enjoying this reread. It's been very nostalgic. It's been fun. It's been a nice, cozy thing. And now I finally get to actually finish this series, which, as my childhood favorite that took up just all of my headspace growing up, I feel like I should be able to say I finished it, so that'll be good. I'm gonna finally do that. Now, I've started the final book in the Live Ship Traders. I started Ship of Destiny, and it's gonna be my whole focus, so I should be able to see it through this week, and I'm so excited. I'm so ready to finish the Live Ship Traders, so that's gonna be awesome. Okay, I am almost done with live ships. Boom, look at that. Look at all that progress. That's beautiful. I have loved reading this book. A lot of the elements, a lot of the things that have developed throughout these books has come together. The characters that I previously loved are shining so bright. Some of my favorite characters that I have loved from the start, have been on their team from the beginning, are just shining. And there's a lot of scenes that have come up that have been difficult to read, that have been very hard, and I've been afraid of what that character's fate is going to be, that it's just like it's escalating and escalating, and I'm just there's certain things that I'm nervous. What is this ending going to be? Like, how are we going to make this satisfying at this point? Knowing what I know now, how can we end this well? And then there's other things that I'm already super satisfied with, other story arcs, other character arcs that I just feel like, it's perfect, it's perfect. Oh, do you know what Live Ships is? So this is book 3 in the Live Ship Trader trilogy by Robin Hobb. This is a nautical fantasy. A live ship is a ship that's built with wizard wood, and it has a consciousness. It is sentient. And this family has a live ship, and at the beginning of book 1, the figurehead of the family, the leader of the family, dies, and Althea, we have several POVs that we follow, several perspectives that we follow in this story, but Althea felt like she should have inherited the live ship, but she didn't, and that's the conflict. That's kind of the inciting incident for book 1. And with that, we have Althea's quest to right this wrong that she feels that's been done to her. We have the perspective of the person that does get the ship and all that happens there, as well as other members of the family as they're dealing with other domestic conflicts happening within the home, or conflicts happening on the ship, as well as a man named Kenneth who's trying to be the Pirate King. Not like Luffy. So that's the setup of book 1, and obviously a lot of what I've said isn't even the same information by book 3. Like, I know so much more about the live ships now and how they were created and what their deal is. And I've just generally, like, reading through these 3 books has been really wonderful. They're obviously quite large. Each book is about 900 pages, and Robin Hobb has this very, 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 very slow pacing, where a simple conversation, a simple discussion between people that could take 2 pages takes 14. And like, that sounds like a negative, but for Hobb, it really works. She's a very immersive writer, to where there are very few authors that really sink me into the pages like Hobb does. I think Daphne du Maurier is another author that I could cite who does this, though du Maurier does it for me more than Hobb does. Hobb does it where I just feel very present. I'm there. I'm with them. And so these conversations, or these scenes, these things that happen that, you know, just looking at it purely from, I guess, an editorial perspective. I'm not an editor. You know, looking at it from a perspective, just removing my emotions from it, this book could be heavily condensed. But do I want it to be? Honestly, not really, because I'm so involved in the story that these very detailed scenes, I'm happy to be there with. Do I need 14 pages of this discussion? No. But I'm happy to have had it. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those worlds and one of those stories where, even though I do have my complaints, I do have my nitpicks with Hobb as a writer and as a storyteller, for the most part, I have enjoyed Live Ship so much. Now, I didn't really like the Fitz books. I'm very sorry for all that have been harmed by that message. I didn't really like the Fitz books, but these live ship books are just like, they're just right for me. It's this nautical fantasy, this sentient ship, this deeper history and mystery around the live ships and the reveals that are coming, certain character POVs that are getting just incredibly satisfying character arcs, just truly coming into their own, becoming a different version of themselves because of what's happened to them and because of stepping up to the plate. And it just there's a lot that I'm loving about this. As a trilogy, it's doing a lot that's really, really, really working for me. And it's so funny because after the Fitz books, I was determined. I was like, Hobbs just not it for me, you know? And I was encouraged heavily to move on to live ship because a lot of people thought that it would be better suited for me. And I said that I'll read 100 pages of the first live ship book and I'll quit if it doesn't work for me. And I loved it. And I have loved this trilogy. So anyway, I only have a little bit left. I'm actually probably just gonna go ahead and finish this tonight. And I'll just check in with you tomorrow. And I'll tell you what I thought of this. I'll keep it spoiler free. I'll tell you what I thought of the end of the trilogy, as well as chat with you about Full Metal Alchemist, because I'm almost done with the final volume of Full Metal of the section that I'm almost done with volume 12. Nope. Yeah, it was 12. I'm almost done with volume 12. So I will finish that as well and chat with you tomorrow about all the things. I'm very hopeful that this is gonna end well and not. I have fears. Ship of Destiny. Do you want me to be honest or do you want me to be nice? I'll go with honest. I thought that the climax of Ship of Destiny, stellar. But the following action I kind of actively disliked. It's just hard to talk about that. I think, don't mishear me, the climax, the action, everything coming together, everything coming to a head, everything that happened in that ending, excellent. But the falling action, the dust has settled, what direction is everybody going in so we can get an idea of when I run out of pages, what then? Where will their lives continue, right? It was a no from me. I think that this trilogy was fantastic. I think that it was I had a wonderful time reading it. And honestly, if I'm gonna have my complaints about this trilogy, I'm gonna have like two. Like three 900-page books, and I have maybe 2 complaints of the whole thing. Hey buddy. It was good. It was a great trilogy. I highly recommend it. But I didn't like the falling action in book 3. There it is. It's been said. So, Literature Science Alliance and I are going to be doing a discussion on the entire trilogy. So we'll probably just hit on some like major key points and major characters and general character arcs and story arcs. It'll probably be a long one, but she and I are going to do a trilogy discussion. Not this week. I'm actually missing this Tuesday because I have a friend staying with me and it just didn't work out. Also, my kids are out of school all week this week, so I didn't get to film. But we will be doing it at some point this month. It'll be in November, so we'll dig into it all. We'll talk about it more. But that's where I stand. I thought that it was a fantastic trilogy. I think I great stuff. Highly recommend. But yeah. Ending was disappointing. Not the climax of the ending. That was excellent. It's the falling action that I didn't love. Next, I finished volume 18 of Full Metal Alchemist. not 12. And, ooh, boy, this series is going, isn't it? You know what's interesting? There's a lot more reveals happening. At this point in the story, we're getting more understanding of what the villain's motivations are, what their grand plan is, why they've been moving these chess pieces the way that they have. We're getting more reveals over how deep it all goes, like our protagonists are getting more and more tangled up in how am I gonna get out of this, which is all very, very good, and all the political intrigue and all the tangled web we weave that's going on in it is all stellar. But you know what's really standing out to me in these last several volumes? Characters, main characters in the story that I already loved, that I already thought were excellent characters, are only getting better. Characters that I already thought had an incredible friendship and connection and just relationships among themselves is only getting better. I love these characters. I love their love for each other, and I'm not even talking about romantic love, though sometimes I am, but I'm also talking about platonic love. Their love for each other is incredible, and I am very much a character reader, and I love good, solid, extreme, like really, really good friendships, and I'm really enjoying myself lately with Full Metal. You know what's funny? I tried reading Full Metal as like one of my first introductions into manga, and I dropped it. And do you know that I dropped it basically right before it like elevates to something really fantastic? I'm sorry for doing that to you. If you're one of the people that's been here for a while and you saw me try Full Metal the first time, I'm sorry for what I did to you. But anyway, yeah, that's what I read this week. I have a cold. Don't feel good, so sorry if my energy levels are low. But I also have read, so I hope you enjoyed it. Please chat with me more in the comments if you like. Let me know what you thought of the ending of Ship of Destiny, without spoilers, if you have read it. Because I have a feeling that I'm gonna be the odd man out, but let me know if I'm not. Make me feel good about myself. Everything here is dead now. All the interludes that you saw were from last week when we did some last minute hiking. We actually just got back from a hike today, and it's just sticks. It's just sticks now. So I'm bummed. But what can be done? Please chat with me more about these books in the comments of this video. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the main channel, which is always linked in the description. I'll see you again soon. Bye.